Hi, this is Becky DeGrossa with CounselingWise.com, and lately I've been working with a lot of folks who seem to either be starting a private practice for the first time or changing the focus of their practice. And with either of those situations, what I'm finding is that a lot of folks are looking for a new domain name for a website, either the first time they've ever done a website or deciding that they need a different website that has a different focus or something like that. So if this is you, then this little tool might be fun for you to use to save yourself a lot of time in terms of finding a domain name. So let's say that you are going to open a new private practice or change of focus and you live in Bend, Oregon. So one thing that you could do is you could go to GoDaddy and you could look at a bunch of you could just type in a bunch of URLs to see if something is available. So you might type in bendtherapy.com and you can do a search and you could see if that is available. And nope, it isn't available. They give you a bunch of other options here, none of which look that great. I would always recommend that you get the .com if you can. It just looks more like a real business if you get a .com. So then you could say, all right, well then let me see if I could do Bend Counseling. Let's see if that's available. And you could look there and nope, that's already registered as well. And so you could waste a bunch of time searching around to see what's available. Or you could use this cool little tool called Bust a Name. So it's at bustaname.com. And all you have to do is type in the words that you would want to utilize. So we could type in Bend, and then we could say, okay, I want, you can say actually add a group is the way you should do it. You should say add a group and go ahead and in that group put therapy, and maybe therapist and maybe counselor and counseling, you have to spell it correctly, and maybe psychotherapy. Maybe you're a psychologist, so you could say psychologist and add all of those. Now they all go into this group. Then what this tool does is it automatically gives you names that are available, URL names that are available right here that utilize Bend along with one of these other terms. Okay, and you can sort this alphabetically. You could sort it by reading quality. You could sort it any way you want. All right, but what we're going to find is that there's some things like Bend Therapist is available, so that's kind of cool. Or Bend Psychotherapy, that's available. There may be other ones that you want. Psychologist Bend, I don't know. But the point is that it saves you a lot of time. You can quickly search for relevant terms. And why would you even want to? I guess maybe that's another question. What is true is that the most searched terms for our business tend to be these terms. Tend to be either the term therapy, therapist, counselor, counseling, psychotherapy, psychologist, terms like that, along with the city name. And if you have those in your URL name, then you will tend to show up higher in Google. You get a little advantage. It used to be that you got a great advantage, actually. And so the advantage isn't as strong as it used to be, but it is in fact still strong simply because one of the ranking factors for Google is this keyword in the URL. And they figure that if the keyword is in the URL for a domain, then it must be very relevant. Okay, if you have a site called bendtherapist.com, you're most likely not selling Viagra or some other strange thing. Okay, it's probably really a Bend therapist. So that's why there's an advantage, and this tool should help you land on something that works. You can also do different things in terms of you could put my in front of it, and it'll come back and my Bend psychologist. You could say I want to use the prefix of the. It'll just give you all sorts of combinations. You can also use hyphens, And if you can get away with not using hyphens, I think you're going to be better off. It's just more professional looking to just have, you know, like bendtherapist.com. Looks much more professional than the hyphenated versions of things. But if there's no other options, that might be something that you can do. The other thing that is really neat about this tool is that normally if I were at GoDaddy and I wanted to buy a domain name, you can see here that they're going to be like, let me see if I could find, let me find one that's probably available in a .com. This is a small town in Wyoming, so this .com might be available. It is, but you can see that it's $12.99. If I buy it directly through GoDaddy, it's $12.99. If I go to Bust a Name and I buy something, you can see that I'm going to get $5 off at checkout if I buy it. So if I decided I wanted psychotherapy.com, I could say, you know, put it over here and then go ahead and buy it through GoDaddy. And when I go through the checkout process at GoDaddy, it's going to take $5 off. So there's a little benefit there as well. All right, hopefully this video was helpful for you, and good luck in finding a domain name that works for you, and good luck in either starting your practice or refocusing it. Take care. Becky DeGrossa, counselingwise.com, over and out. Bye-bye.